On Saturday, 25th April 2012, something very unusual happened, something never witnessed before. Real Madrid hosted Bayern Munich in a Champions League semi-final second-leg clash at the Santiago Bernabeu. For many fans across the world, it was the final before the final. After all, this was Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. Europe's best teams does not get better than this. In the Madrid dugout calmly sat the special one, Jose Mourinho. He was in the hunt for a third Champions League title, and he felt he had the right team to do it. Having lost the first leg 2-1, his team had no option but to win, and by a bigger margin, if at all they wanted to reach the finals, coincidentally, at Bayern Munich's home turf, Allianz Arena. For starters, this was arguably Real Madrid's best team in recent history. They had the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Kaka, Sergio Ramos, Mesut Ozil, Angel Di Maria, just to name but a few. This was the Real Madrid team at their absolute best, and under Mourinho, they ended Barcelona's dominance. That famous Barcelona side under Pep Guardiola, which many consider the best in their club history, the team that won 6 trophies in a season. Mourinho had got them playing the best football, and they sure looked like the best team in Europe. Back to the night in Madrid. 15 minutes into the game and Real were cruising. Ronaldo had struck twice, including once from the spot to give them a perfect start, a 2-0 lead. The stadium was buzzing. This, however, changed quickly as Arjen Robben netted from the spot to level things up at 3-3 on aggregate. It was the last goal of the night from open play. With nothing to separate the two giants after normal and extra time, the match was forced to go to penalties. David Alaba, who coincidentally now plays for Madrid, was up first, and he coolly slotted home, sending Iker Casillas the wrong way. First on the list for Madrid was Ronaldo, who had already scored a penalty in regular time, someone who had scored countless penalties in his career. Everyone expected him to score, but guess what? He missed, as Manuel Neur denied him with a great save. Mario Gomez scored Bayern's, making it 2-0. They were running away with this. Kaka was up next for Madrid. He had to score. The whole Bernabeu was dead silent as everyone held their breath. The Brazilian stepped up and went for the right corner, but Neuer once again guessed right, and he made a fantastic stop, a carbon copy of the Ronaldo miss earlier. Total despair. Toni Kroos, who also plays for Madrid currently, was given the chance to make it 3-0 from the spot. His effort was, however, casual, and Casillas made a good save to give Madrid an unlikely chance. Xabi Alonso scored down through the middle to give Madrid real hope. Casillas came big again for Real, saving Philipp Lahm's efforts. It was all square now. Santiago Bernabeu was instantly hopeful. Sergio Ramos was then given the responsibility to score Real's second of the night and perhaps put pressure on Bayern. The Spanish is arguably the best penalty takers among defenders in the history of the game, but on the night, it all went wrong. He blasted his effort well over the bar in a hilarious manner. He wasn't even close. Madristas could not believe it. No one could explain what had just happened. It all came down to Bastian Schweinsteiger to send Bayern to the finals, and he did exactly that, beating Casillas to break thousands of hearts inside the Bernabeu. Munich erupted. Madrid fell silent. For Madrid fans, it was a penalty shootout they would never want to watch again. They, however, had themselves to blame for their loss. It wasn't luck, it wasn't fate, and the footballing gods weren't wearing Bayern's famous red jerseys. Real simply weren't good enough when it came down to the penalty shootout. It was a long night for many of the club's fans. Kaka, Ronaldo, and Ramos, 3 of their biggest stars, had let them down. Many cried. Mourinho was so upset, and it bore an unusual moment, that of Mourinho breaking down in tears, the only time he has ever cried after losing a football match. That night is the only time in my career as a coach that I've cried after a defeat. I remember it well. Aitor Karanka, Madrid assistant at the time, and I pulled up in front of my house in the car crying. It was very hard because we were the best that season. We had a very clearly defined playing identity. We were always very well organized defensively above anything else on the pitch, and everyone knew exactly what they had to do. The Champions League loss proved to be their only blip in an otherwise perfect campaign. They eventually won the La Liga title and managed 100 points, 9 more than Barcelona, setting a record for a single top-flight season in Spain. The Los Blancos also set another record in La Liga during that famous 2011-12 campaign, scoring 121 goals in the competition and losing just twice in the league. And how can we forget the famous 2-1 victory at Camp Nou in April with just 4 games to go, which eventually proved the title decider. Madrid fans celebrated the win deep into the night. Well, this is not the only time, though, Mourinho has been emotional. It seems the older he grows, goes, the less eccentric he becomes, allowing his human side to show. He was recently reduced to tears after AS Roma qualified for the Europa League final. The Italian club edged out Bayern Leverkusen in the semis, booking a final spot against perennial winners Sevilla. Roma will feel really special, as they have made the special one to cry out of joy, not once, but twice. Mourinho broke into tears last year when the Giallorossi won the inaugural UEFA Europa Conference League last season. It was Roma's first ever European title in more than 60 years. The win also completed a unique trophy haul for the Portuguese, as it meant he has now won all European trophies: the Champions League, Europa League, and the UEFA Cup. You see why it's special? Maybe we will see more tears of joy after the final whistle at the Puskás Arena in Hungary when Roma plays Sevilla in the finals. The man deserves it though. He has served us with magical footballing moments. Whether it is the triumphant run at Old Trafford in 2004 or the famous press conferences, Mourinho will always remain legendary. Which is your favorite Jose Mourinho moment? Let us know in the comments.